ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
I came in 98. By Swami's grace, father joined as the editor of Sanatan Sarathi. But mother was living alone. In this particular experience, how we should pray to Swami, Swami explained to me very vividly. And I would like to share with you. In 99, still my mother was in Delhi and she was staying alone. When she came to Swami, Swami called her and said, see, your is government job. And she was a nursery teacher, awarded nursery teacher. Swami said, this is your government job. You must apply for retirement in a proper way, otherwise pension will be a problem. So father had already retired, he was getting his pension. He came off to Parthi immediately. Mother was living alone. The locality that we were staying was notorious for old, lonely women being murdered or looted and people run away. And she was staying there alone in a building where there was nobody else. And I was so scared for my mom. And one day I took a letter and I told Swami, Swami said, what is it? I said, Swami, letter, mother Swami. Swami said, stamp lagao, Delhi bhejo. I said, Swami, letter is for you. And Swami asked, where am I? Now Swami is standing next to me, his robe is brushing against my nose and he is asking me, where am I? And naturally I said, Swami, you are everywhere. And Swami said, yes, that is true. But I truly live in the depths of your heart. I want you to pay attention to this particular response and conversation with Swami because it really opens a new vistas in our mind. And Swami said, yes, I am everywhere, but I truly live in the depths of your heart. The letter is still in my hands. And Swami said, whatever prayer you may have, leave it with me in the depths of your heart. Whatever prayer you may have, leave it with me in the depths of your heart. And then he said, if you ever have to pray, only pray, Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu, Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu, Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. I was aghast by the reply, but Swami did not end there. He said, because I am only Samasta lokaha. Samasta loka is my body. When you do the action of Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, if that is what your prayer is, I also respond with reaction and response of sukhino bhavantu, sukhino bhavantu. I also is a reaction and response from me also. When you say, Swami, samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, then I also react and respond. Naturally, every action must have a reaction. When you say, Swami, samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, I also have a reaction and response, sukhino bhavantu, sukhino bhavantu. And Swami said, then I will answer your prayers in your heart in the best possible way at the best time. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. And that is why that very moment I made a resolve. Swami, there is no need to even ask you for anything. Swami says, I am a mother filled with 1,000 hearts of love for you. A little child who needs milk has to even cry for that milk sometimes. But Swami, does he need to be even asked when he's the resident of our own hearts? Does he not know what we need? Does he not know what to give us? Does he not know what is the best time to give it to us? He knows it all. And that is why if ever we have to pray for ourselves or for anyone, the best prayer is Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Because in any form, in any name that you pray to him, he only is responding. Not just in India, across the globe. One day Swami came for darshans at 6:30 in the morning. The Kulwant Hall gate was locked. The lights were off. His interview room was closed. In the nick of time, the portico in charge came and opened the door for Swami for him to enter. 6:30 he went inside, crossing across the ladies' line, and just without even putting on the lights, he just sat down there. And then he told that person, call the research scholars. We were in a half-bathed, half-shaven position. We all ran. With barefooted, we ran to Mandir. And we entered the room one by one. And Swami acknowledged our presence and then he closed his eyes again. I was sitting so close to Bhagwan. Was he even breathing? There was no movement from him for 45 minutes time. Then Swami opened his eyes, acknowledged our presence, again closed his eyes. Nearly 1 hour passed. Then Swami opened his eyes, breathed again. You could see that distinct breathing of his chest again. And then Swami, very in a whispering tone, he asked, "What date is today?" I said, "Swami, 6th of August. And he said, "What happened on this day?" We had no idea what happened on this day. Nothing happened to us or around us. We said, we just kept quiet. And then Swami himself said, "This is the day that atom bomb was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan." And then Swami said, "Right now, in Osaka, my children are praying to me with lighted candles that such a catastrophe and holocaust that we suffered, Swami, it should never happen again." And Swami made a matter-of-fact statement and said, "I listened to their prayers and came. I listened to their prayers and came." Sisters and brothers, to which Chinese gods were the people in Japan praying to? Followers of Taoism, Confucianism, and Shintoism, which we not even have heard about. They have their own gods and goddesses and deities to whom they pray. But tell me, when collectively we pray with Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu in our hearts, Swami has to respond. Swami has to respond. That Swami says, a proper study of mankind is man. Proper study of mankind is man. Somebody asked Swami, "Swami, you repeat that so often, that the proper study of mankind is man. What is the meaning of that?" And then Swami told this devotee and said, "If you're going in the forest and a thorn pricks your feet, what will you do?" He said, "Swami, I'll remove it with my hand." And Swami said, "Why should the hand go and help? The hand is separate from the feet, is it not? Why should the hand go and help? Why should the mouth cry? Why should the eyes tear? Why should the entire body come together and help the feet?" He said, "Swami, because the hand and face and the entire body, the eyes, they also feel the pain they also feel the pain that the feet is undergoing." And Swami said, that is the proper study of mankind is man. When one part of society is suffering, when one part of society is languishing behind, when one part of society is undergoing difficulties, should not the remaining part of society come together and help? That is our innate. That is why Swami says it is important for us to translate our action into Karma Yoga. Our action, our karma should become dharma. How will it become? It's a very simple process. It's a very simple process. In this andheri, what's the meaning of andheri actually? In Hindi, andheri means a dust storm that blinds you. And this dust storm of desires that is blinding us day in and day out, how in this dust storm, how will we be able to establish Dharma Kshetra in our own hearts? We cannot leave our jobs, we cannot leave our households, we cannot leave our corporate offices, we cannot leave the organizations, we have to work. And how do we translate our action into Karma Yoga and make our karma into dharma, the Dharma Kshetra be established in our own hearts? This process we have to think.
My